Let's talk about a place where brilliant, ambitious AI ideas go to die. It's called the AI graveyard. Today, we're going to figure out why so many promising projects end up there, and more importantly, how you can make absolutely sure yours doesn't.
It's funny. AI projects are a lot like New Year's resolutions. Think about it. Come January 1st, the gym is absolutely packed, right? Everyone is fired up. But by February, yeah, not so much. This is the exact same pattern we see with AI. Projects kick off with all this excitement and these huge promises, but most of them just kind of fizzle.
And look, the numbers here are pretty brutal. Recent studies show a staggering 75% of AI initiatives fail to deliver on their expected return on investment. Let that sink in. That means 3 out of every 4 projects are not hitting the business goals they were created to solve. And yeah, there's actually a name for this, the AI Project Graveyard. It's this place full of amazing ideas that started with so much potential, but in the end, they just failed to create any real, tangible business value. They get stuck, becoming little more than cool-looking demos that don't actually do anything. But here's the good news. Your project does not have to end up there. We're going to walk through 3 super practical tips to make sure your AI initiatives actually succeed. We're going to cover starting with the right problem, getting the right people on board, and planning for deployment from day one. Okay, so let's dive into tip number 1. And honestly, this is the biggest mistake, the biggest trap that most teams fall into. They fall in love with the tech before they even know what problem they're trying to solve. You have to put the problem before the technology. And this slide just perfectly sums it up. Way too often, teams get excited about a new tool. It's like having a brand new, shiny hammer, and suddenly, every single problem looks like a nail. The right way to do it is to first really, truly understand the business challenge, the puzzle itself, and then go looking for the right tool for the job. So, you've got to remember, AI is a tool in your toolbox. A ridiculously powerful one, for sure, but it is not the goal itself. If your project isn't anchored to a clear business outcome, you're basically just building in the dark and hoping you stumble across something valuable. And that is why defining what success looks like right up front is completely non-negotiable. Are you trying to cut customer turn by 10%? Are you trying to boost efficiency by 15%? Maybe cut $2 million in costs? These concrete numbers give your project a North Star to follow. Without them, you might build a really cool demo that wows everybody in a meeting, but delivers zero actual impact to the business. All right, so you've got your problem locked down. What's next? Well, it's all about the people, which brings us to tip 2. You have to get stakeholder buy-in, and you need to get it early on. You see, these projects don't exist in a vacuum, right? They're not just some science experiment happening in a lab. They have real-world consequences, and they're going to touch different people, different workflows, and different products. If the key players aren't all on the same page from the start, your project is pretty much guaranteed to hit a wall before it even gets going. And getting that buy-in means you have to speak each person's language, not drown them in a bunch of technical jargon they don't care about. Think about your CFO. Do they really care about your model's architecture? No way. They care about cost savings and ROI. Your operations lead, they need to know how this thing is going to fit into their existing workflow, not the nitty-gritty technical details. And customer success, they want to know one thing. How does this help us keep our customers happy? Your job is to connect those dots for them. Because when you show each person how this project makes their world better in terms they understand, something amazing happens. They stop being potential roadblocks and turn into your project's biggest champions. Okay, problem defined. Stakeholders are on board and excited. You're ready to go, right? Well, almost. This brings us to the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. Tip 3. You absolutely must plan for deployment from day 1. Honestly, this is the final hurdle where so many promising projects just completely fall flat. Teams build a fantastic model, but they treat what happens next, the deployment, the monitoring, as an afterthought. This is a fatal mistake. It has to be a core part of your plan from the very beginning. Because let's be real for a second, a model that works perfectly in a clean, controlled little lab environment is completely useless if it never actually makes it out into the real world. It's just shelfware, an expensive experiment that sits on a digital shelf collecting dust. So to get that real-world success, you have to be asking these questions from the get-go. How is this going to integrate with our existing systems? How are we going to monitor its performance over time to make sure it's still working? And what's our plan to retrain it when the data inevitably changes? These aren't optional nice-to-haves. They are absolutely essential for any kind of long-term success. So let's bring it all together. The goal here isn't just to build something cool, it's to build for real, measurable impact. Your path to success really just boils down to these three things. 1. Start with a clear business problem. 2. Get your stakeholders on board early by speaking their language. And 3. Plan for deployment not at the end, but from the very beginning. You follow these three fundamental steps, and I promise you, your AI project isn't just going to survive and escape the graveyard, it's going to thrive. It's going to deliver the tangible, meaningful value you set out to create in the first place. And that brings us right back to where we started. With all this in mind, take a second and think about your own work. What AI projects are on your New Year's resolution list this year? And how are you going to make sure they're still going strong long after February is over?